communication is sexy. Maybe that tongue thing I just did wasn't, but communication is very, very sexy. Communication can help you get more sex and more money. Okay, why am I blatantly selling you sex and money through communication right now? I'm being a little cheeky, and I'm sharing this because this YouTube video today is going to be about actually a conversation I had with a friend recently, and something that came through as I was sharing with her about my upcoming course on communication and the fact that I'm doing so much right now about self-expression, communication techniques to enhance your relationships. And yeah, just wanting to share with you today why communication is sexy and how it can actually get you more sex and money, but also really that not being the point. So continue watching. And if you are a long-time watcher of my videos, there's actually a lot of people that I feel watch this and haven't subscribed yet. So if you want to keep watching them, then subscribe and put the bell icon on so you know when new videos come out. It also lets me see the tribe of people who feel that this stuff is valuable. When you subscribe, sometimes myself, when I watch videos, I keep going to their channel and I'm like, why have I not subscribed to them yet? It's because I forget to push the little button. That's literally it. Let's talk about sexy communication. I don't know why that's not my sexy face when I'm trying to be sexy. Maybe it is. Maybe my sexy face really isn't sexy. Not really. I think I'm most sexy when I'm not trying to be sexy. Maybe that's it. Okay. This is the conversation I had with a friend. It was sharing with her. She was like, how's the marketing for your new course going? And I share, it's going well, but I feel like I get frustrated sometimes because I feel like some people maybe don't really get how essential learning effective communication is for every part of their life and their relationships especially. I just feel like people don't get it. And I feel like it's not a sexy thing to sell. I've shared this with my friend and he's like, your stuff is so incredible and, your audience doesn't yet reflect that because my audience isn't huge yet. Maybe when you're watching this, it's huge. But it's not. It's very engaged. They're really beautiful engagement that comes through all of these channels, but I don't have a huge audience. And that's okay, I'm still building. But he's like, if you were selling sexuality course, tantra, intimacy, it would be so much easier. I'm like, I know. And I do sell sensuality courses. I do programs and I lead this with women and they get a ton of interest because that is beautiful and wanted. So of course, but I'm also extremely passionate about the vital need for us to learn how to communicate our truth, desires, our needs, how to resolve conflict, how to heal relationships through amazing, effective communication. And that is why I want to offer these courses. Not because I think it's an easy thing to do and an untapped niche. It's actually quite untapped still, but because I truly believe in it. And so my friend was like, yeah, it's because you're not selling people how to have great sex or how to have more money. And I said to her, the irony is when people really enhance their communication, their ability to express themselves clearly, succinctly, from their truth, to have confidence to speak out, then they are more effective leaders. They're able to share their message more. They make more money. When I cleaned up my communication more, it's actually when my audience started to grow much faster. And you'll get more sex. When I cleaned up my communication more, was able to express my desires and needs with my partner, yeah, more sex. I'm candid about that. Or more intimacy in the way that I felt that I needed that. I was able to share that. In the past, the way that I shared that actually created more of a disconnect, less intimacy and more of a resistance. I could probably do a whole video on that. I probably will actually, because it's a deeper story. So that is why communication is sexy. And it's so funny because I'm like, I mean, I'm not obviously directly selling better sex, more money, but in some ways I am. And that makes me feel like, I wish people knew this. I really wish people got the gravity of effective communication. I really, really wish that they could see that. And then I'm like, what's the point of me saying I wish that they could see that? Yeah, I just wish they could see. No, people see what they see. People are receiving what they feel is most important. And people have different priorities. Maybe their sex life is their priority in that moment. Great, there's different ways to that. But for me, it's not about needing them to be anywhere. It's about, okay, what can I do? How can I share with people the importance of this? And again, it's not to sell out all my courses and make all of the money. I mean, that would be wonderful, for sure. And I trust that that's going to happen when the audience is coming and receiving the value of this. It's more about the fact that the most life-changing things for me have been masculine and feminine embodiment work and communication. Within the masculine and feminine embodiment work, I lead programs already, I lead retreats. And in the communication work, I'm actually also talking about masculine and feminine communication. So it all intertwines, and I'm sharing really what has had the biggest impact, not only on my life, but also my partner's life, my friends' lives, and the people that I've worked with. So I'm sharing this because it's like, the incredible shifts, changes, up-leveling of my relationships in my life with my friends, with my family, with my partner, have been through this, embodying these lessons that I'm now teaching. And I just want people to do that. I just want people to feel the gifts of healing their relationships, to feel what I felt when I healed the relationship with my dad. And a lot of that was through how I communicated with him, not needing him to be different, but how I communicated with him, how I shared my expression of truth, how I was able to show up vulnerably. My partner, the way that we communicate together, and we actually have a YouTube video where it's a podcast episode that we did, and we have more YouTube videos together as well. Our relationship skyrocketed to a whole new level of trust and commitment when we really locked into harmonious, truth-filled, loving communication. It's actually something that's always been a strength of ours, but when we really honed in on it, oh my God. It's like I'm speechless because we actually separated for a little bit. Not because of anything quite intense. We were both going through some big shifts in our lives, and there was always love there. But in coming back together, yeah, this stuff is powerful. And this is why both of us together are leading our next program on the art of communication. It's called Heal and Harmonize, the art of masculine and feminine communication. And it's a live course for 6 weeks. So you can join us as an individual, as a couple, as a man, woman, whatever gender that you associate with, and you can do this with us in real time. When couples join, they also have the chance to take one-to-one calls with us as well. If you can't make the live times, you can join this as a recorded course, which we will make available as well as an evergreen course to do at any time that you please after the course has ended. It starts on the 22nd of June, 2021, and the early bird actually ends on the 4th of June. So if you're watching this before the 4th of June, you can actually get quite a hefty discount on this. If it's after the 22nd of June, we'll likely run it again, or check on my website, check at the links below, because this course is probably already up on my website as an evergreen. Purchase it when you please and go through it in your own time. I'm doing this because I know the power of this. If it were just about making money for me, which is not a bad thing, by the way, too, I'm all about abundance. But if I was just doing this for that purpose, I'd probably just be selling something more obviously sexy. But I'm not. I'm selling something that some could seem as quite dry, but in a way to show people where it is far from dry. It is sexy, and it is so important. So if you can join us, I'd love to see you there. If not, keep following. I'm sharing lots of videos, lots of content around this. My partner and I also do comedy videos around things like this, like communication issues and stuff, on my Instagram. So if you're not already following me, my social media, come, it's fun, and a lot of education as well. All right, guys. Mwah. Speak to you soon.